let's see. Let's talk about something else the Pope said, because I thought this to me, well, it shined a little bit of a light for me, to be honest with you. But you got to follow me on this because it might not make a whole lot of sense to you. So, Pope Francis, again, I think he was in Singapore. He was talking to a bunch of kids. And what he said, well, this is an article from it, but the bottom line, he says, all religions are paths to reach God. They are like different languages in order to arrive at God, but God is God for everyone, the Pope said. Since God is God for all, then we are all children of God. If you start a fight, my religion is more important than yours, mine is true and yours isn't, then where will that lead us? The Pope continued. There is only one God, and each of us has a language to reach God. Some are Sikh, some Muslim, Hindu, Christian. They are all paths to God. Now, I use that clip from the Catholic culture, and in it, they actually make an argument as well about why this is erroneous. Not getting into, we'll talk about it in a little bit. In this case, they say, making an argument that seemed clearly in conflict with the constant teaching of the Catholic Church, as expressed most recently in Dominus Jesus, in its warning against religious indifferentism. So I heard this the other day, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. I don't know if I've come to those conclusions, but I've thought along these lines quite a bit. And I think I lean in this direction pretty heavily. Now, that doesn't mean that I discount Christianity or any other religion, and it certainly doesn't mean I throw away all religion entirely if it's only one God and all this, but it does, it reinforces, I think, probably what I always believed about religion, which is it's a practice of coming to know God. That religion is always about us practicing, whatever that may look like in our particular religion, walking a path that brings us to God. Now, I'm not offended by this kind of thing, and I'm not going to get into whether the Pope's right or wrong, especially in terms of Roman Catholicism. I'm not Roman Catholic, and I'm not a student of Roman Catholicism. I've had my experiences, and a lot of those experiences come from something that we're going to talk about. But I'm not here to say the Pope is right, the Pope is wrong, especially in regards to how a Roman Catholic might hear these words, how they might process these words, what they might think of these words. I have a friend here in town who is a theologian, and he offered a statement about this. And I've read others who were really quite critical of what the Pope had to say from a Roman Catholic perspective. And again, they're learned in this. I am not. So they have their opinion. And it wouldn't be right for me to tell a Roman Catholic, you're wrong, given the fact that I'm not Roman Catholic. But as I was reading some of these opinions, and I was reading some of these critiques about the Pope's words, and I already had my own thoughts about what he was saying, the question popped into my brain, what if he's right? Okay, I understand the argument about what if he's wrong. So if the Pope is wrong, and the Pope says all religions are a path to God, and we believe, Pope Francis said it, therefore it must be true, and we believe, and we find out, and again, he's wrong, he's not right, he's wrong, but we believe it to be true because he said it, then the danger, of course, is that people are led astray. They're led away from God. That's the danger of it. I get that. Sadly, that wasn't really, well, anyway. But what if he's right? What if he's right? Why would that bother us so much? If the Pope is right that all religions lead us to God, why does it bother us so much? Why the critique? Why the heartfelt, impassioned rebukes, arguments? chastisements. I've read them all, right? I've read all kinds of different things. What's the problem? If he's right, what's the harm? If he's right, what's the threat? Now, again, if he's right, that all paths lead to God, then we don't have to worry about people. Those who are practicing, those are all children of God. Therefore, they'll find their way. If he's right, that all religions lead us to God, then really the threat has nothing to do with God. The problem has nothing to do with God. It has everything to do with us, everything to do with our religions, everything to do with our insecurity about our religions, everything to do with the need to feel as though we got it right. We're not wrong. They're wrong. We know what we're talking about. We know the truth. Thank God we know the truth. It comes down to the religion and protecting the religion. If every religion leads us to God, then you may not like mine anymore. If every religion leads us to God, then holy crap, I better be really careful and be a good ambassador for my religion, for my understanding of prayer, for my understanding of worship, for my understanding of what it means to be a church, for my understanding of what it means to be a religious community. You might leave. If every religion leads us to God, you might leave. What if you picked a different one? What if you picked an easier one? What if you picked, one of those wild ones? What if you left me? If every religion leads us to God, I'm not superior. I'm not better than you. I don't have it right. You're not wrong. If the Pope is right and it causes me an identity crisis, oh no, what have I been doing with my time? Well, it tells me there's something wrong with my faith too. It tells me there's something wrong with my understanding. It tells me there's something wrong with my religion. See, as a Christian, it's not that I need to follow the one true God. And just bear with me on this. If God is God is God is God is God right across the board, and all religions lead us to God, then Christianity is just my flavor, right? It's just as the Pope used the language. It doesn't minimize my faith, and it doesn't minimize my religion at all. This is my way. This is the path I walk. It doesn't cause me. It shouldn't cause me to feel. It shouldn't cause me to feel harmed. It shouldn't cause me to feel threatened. Cool, right? So I can stop worrying about my Sikh friends. I can stop worrying about my Hindu friends. I can stop worrying about my Jewish friends. I can stop worrying about my Muslim friends. I can stop worrying about my Buddhist friends. Whatever. I don't have to worry about them. See, the thing is, if that God circle is drawn really, 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 really wide, and that it now includes everyone, again, there's no threat to me. I'm on my path. You're on yours. We'll see each other in the end. We'll, if so long as we're living according to the tenets of our faith, we will see each other in the end. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, excuse me, there's nothing wrong with that. And in the end, it's completely inclusive. I don't have to spend any of my time and any of my energy pointing my fingers. I don't have to spend any of my time and any of my energy casting aspersions on anybody else. I don't have to spend my time and my energy casting doubt on the faith of other people. I don't have to spend my time and my energy trying to prop myself up as the religion. I don't have to spend my time and my energy trying to prove myself. This is our way. This is the way we journey this particular path. You journey your way, I journey mine. See you on the other side, my friend. But if I'm drawing that circle smaller, well, Christians, right? It's not all religions, but all Christians point to the same God. Oh, that's interesting. But that won't suffice. And we know this, right? We know this from theological standpoints. There are churches in the world, there are denominations, there are Christian denominations who say, no, it's not all Christians. It's just us. We're the church. You all, yeah, I get what you're doing, and it's lovely, but it's not okay. And you're not going to be led to God. I've been told as a priest, I've been told, as a priest in the Anglican Church of Canada, we consider ourselves to be Catholic and Protestant at exactly the same time. And for some Protestants, we're way too Catholic. And for some Catholics, we are way too Protestant. I've been told by Protestants, you're going to burn in hell because you're too Catholic. And I've been told by Roman Catholics, you're going to burn in hell because you're not Catholic, because you're not Roman Catholic. They're drawing that circle really, really, really small. And the trouble with drawing, so you think about, if you think about these, I keep using this term because there's a hymn, draw the circle wide. If you practice pushing that circle out to include others, if you practice pushing that circle out away from yourself to include others, to envelop others, to make space for others, to make space for others' opinions, who have different opinions or different ways about them, and even in this case, in different religions. If you practice that, then at the end of the day, the worst thing that happens is you've included people, and you've set yourself in a situation where you can learn, a position where you can learn from them, and hopefully teach as well. But if you practice bringing that circle closer, comes back to that, it's easier to hate than it is to love. If you practice bringing that circle closer, eventually you'll be the only one within the circle. Everybody else will be outside of the circle. You practice, that circle represents our sense of supremacy. If I practice pushing it out, it's me practicing letting go of my need for supremacy. If I practice bringing it in, it's me practicing my supremacy over others, my feelings of supremacy over others. It isn't the Jesus way, right? It isn't the Jesus way at all. It's a selfish way, and therefore it's an ungodly way. What if the Pope is right? If the Pope is right and that bothers you, then you've got some work to do. If the Pope is right and it bothers you that all religions lead to God, then you've got some work to do in your own faith journey, how you perceive this relationship you have with God. If the Pope is right and you're happy about it, I would encourage you, keep learning, keep teaching, and keep enjoying your brothers and sisters who are on this journey with you, but maybe walking a different path. Amen.